Welcome to the royalty, everyone. I am one of your hosts, Derek F, aka Big D from BB23.
And I am your other host, Hannah, aka Chada, also from BB23. And unfortunately, we are missing our third and lovely queen, Tiffany. She will not be joining us tonight, but that's okay because Big D and I still have lots to discuss on The Challenge USA Season 2 and BB25. So buckle up, grab your mugs, and join us.
Well, let's get into it, Hannah. Okay, so lastly, where we left off is that Miss Felicia, okay, is I'm sorry, did I say that right? Felicia?
Felicia.
Felicia, bye Felicia, whatever we want to say.
You've been more incorrect in the past, so I'll give you that.
Okay, so Miss Felicia is HOH right now. Okay, the goal is that they want to backdoor Heisem. Okay, we are now at the veto competition. Okay, now Heisem is going into this veto competition thinking like everything's okay. I don't have anything to worry about. Like no one's gonna target me. Like we are all one big happy family. These professors,
Might I just add, what is the one
yes.
thing I always say, Big D? The second you start feeling too comfortable in that house, that is usually the first indication that you are going to be the one to leave. And Heisem got too comfortable. So, anyway, continue.
Hannah, I have to disagree. I was comfortable the whole time.
Listen, unless you're black and unless you were on BB23, the rule didn't apply to us. But it applied, it has applied, and it will continue to apply to everyone else.
Okay, facts. Or you're in an alliance where I guess you really do trust each other. I will say that too.
Again, that's never happened before, and that will never happen. So, if you are black and if you were on season 23, you are exempt from the rule. You are the other. Otherwise, take
Oh,
my advice.
Jesus
Otherwise, you're doomed.
Christ. Oh my
Otherwise,
God.
you're doomed. Anyway, welcome to the royalty, everyone.
This is Hannah running on 0 hours of sleep, guys. So please do not get her for all this.
She's a little
Now,
cracked.
she is cracked. Literally, I'm over here like, I'm like worried. I'm like, should I make this video montage? I don't know if we should do ads for this video at this point. I don't think we're gonna get no ads for this one. So we go into Heisen feeling like he's safe. Also, I just want to point out, did you see Corey's little pink outfit that he wore by Blue?
Yes, I loved it. It kind of reminded me of the fashion show that Travis did in my dress, and I still don't understand how Travis fit my dress better than I did. But that's neither here nor there, not the moral of the story. But it was refreshing to see somebody who doesn't take their masculinity too seriously. He wasn't fragile about it. He wasn't sensitive about it. He was kind of just like, I'm having fun. I can fit into Blue's clothes. Let's make this a moment. And that he did. I'm loving Corey this season. He is definitely one of my favorites. I think in the beginning, I was trying so hard to identify with him. Like, okay, we're the young ones, we're the babies, we're the smarty pants. But, Corey is his own person, and I'm eating him up. I love it.
That's good. I'm glad that, there's people out there that like Corey. And, I think he's a great game player. And I'm going to give him credit on his game.
Wait, you don't like him as a person? Well, what did you think about his outfit? Remember, he's like half your age, Big D.
Yeah. I don't have anything, I don't have no comments. I don't want to say anything bad. I've already got dragged on Twitter. Okay. I don't feel like getting dragged anymore. His brother came for me. Okay. I wasn't expecting him to go so hard. So I'm leaving it alone. I have learned my lesson.
Big D, you
I'm
know
going to let,
better.
listen, my tweets are very good. The one thing I'm good at, my tweets age very well. So I said what I said. And when it ages in the future, then everybody gonna come back and say, yes, King, you were right. Yes, King.
Okay, well, I did not see what you originally tweeted, but Zach.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that.
Okay. I was just
Okay.
gonna say Zach and Corey are both super, super, super smartass. I'm not sure if that's an adjective, but that's just like they're they like to be wise.
I believe it, and I
Both
see
of them
that.
are young, and kind of like Turner, where he just does not care. They also do not care. So you got to be careful.
No, I wasn't prepared. Usually I'm always like witty with it. I was not prepared and I got read and got dragged. And you know what? I took the L, I took the loss. I now know. And like I said, Corey's a great player. I think he's going to go far in this game. I don't have anything else for him. I'm not usually a fan of the nerds. I don't really care for the nerds. You know this.
I'm a nerd. Clear
You're
as
not a
mud.
nerd.
I
You're a
am a nerd.
fashionista. You're not
No,
a nerd.
no. Here's the thing. I'm not a geek, but I'm a nerd. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I am. You guys. Oh my gosh, it was so frustrating when we would like try to split ourselves up into nerds, popular people, jocks, and the quirky ones. And I would stay telling you guys, I'm a nerd. I'm probably the most like studious one out of every single
Oh,
person
of
here, and you
course.
guys would
No,
be like, no.
here's my thing. Maybe I think of nerd in a different way. Like when I think of nerd, I think of someone who's like awkward. Like you're not awkward. You've never been. Listen, you were. I understand when you first got into big. No, actually, you weren't. Because remember, I'm not going to go in that. But the first time I met you, I thought you were going to be like a spoiled little bitch. I was like, oh my gosh, she's a little bitch. The way you were talking when we were outside the backyard. But then once you got nervous before the comp, I was like, oh, she's a little bit like a little bit awkward a little bit, but then like I don't feel like that lasted long. Where I see Corey like right now, like sidebar, he's like nervous about America, like backing her butt up on him. He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's happening.
I
Like,
think
yeah,
it's so
no,
cute. He's also just young. He's a little baby.
yeah, and that's fine. I'm not gonna make this about Corey. I'm making sure we note that I said Corey is a good game player. Corey's gonna go far in this game, and he is great, and I have respect for him and his brother. So to move on now to the real shit. So they're trying to backdoor heist them, okay? Now, while this is happening, keep in mind that Cameron and Jed is on the block. Cameron is now trying to cover his ass. He decides to tell Red the plan about backdooring Heisem, about the own plan that Red's a part of, because you know Red's a part of professors. He tells basically he tells Cameron like, "Hey, they're gonna backdoor Heisem," and Red's like, "Well, no one told me in my fucking alliance we were backdooring Heisem." So how would you react to like, I don't know, like what do you do in that moment? Like that's like, especially when you're in an alliance and you find out some of your alliance is planning to do and then you don't know about it. Like, what do you do? Like, I'm kind of.
Well, I think that's a great point to bring up. I mean, Cameron should have definitely kept his mouth shut until Heisem was on the block. Because let's just say, I mean, Red did go up to Felicia, and kind of confront her about. I pulled a big D, but Red went up to Felicia and essentially confronted her about it, and then she was like, "Oh, someone told Red. It was probably Cameron." And you know what would have happened if Felicia had decided to pivot her target to Cameron because she no longer trusted him as a pawn, because she now started viewing him as a liability. So you don't want to put yourself in that kind of position before anything is fully solidified. So yeah, not a good move on Cameron. Thankfully, Felicia was just like, whatever, Red knows, so does the rest of the house. Like, let me try to cover my tracks. Red, what would you say if my plan was to backdoor Heisem? And at that point, Red just had to go along with it. But what that should have told Red is like, I am on the bottom of this alliance. They might be my people, but I am not their people. And that's something that I need to wake up to. And that's something that I need to now take into account when figuring out how I want to navigate my game moving forward. And we'll start to see in this week, because Cameron is the HOH spoiler, that Red and Cameron aren't necessarily doing that. They know that they're at the bottom of the totem pole, but they're not doing anything with that information. And as a viewer and as an alum who has played the game, like, it's so frustrating to watch. But continue, Big D.
No, and I agree with everything you said. It is frustrating, and when you are, and that's just that, and that's great advice for viewers that are planning to in the future play Big Brother or just love the game of strategy and Big Brother. Just keep in mind if you are at the bottom of your alliance, you need to make sure that you find an alliance that you're at the top of, no matter what. Now, the veto competition starts. It's called Cockadoodle Doodle Doo. Love that name for it, okay? The goal is to get all 12 dozen eggs. They're going in this gooey, like, I don't even know, like hard stick. I guess stuff that you would use for like mouse traps and shit like that. The way they were moving, you would have thought it was like really like a mouse trap, okay?
Wait, do you remember the competition in Big Brother season 12 with Kathy having to like crawl through the guck or whatever it was, and she took 5 ever? That's exactly what this competition reminded me of.
Yes, and I think that was what they were gimmicking in the first place. The goal is to get up there. Now these Big Brother comps, okay, their competitions, it is for the family, for the kids, because they're just getting more and more stupid and more kids. So, which is fine, but, it's just very interesting, okay? The goal is to go over there and you're going to quack. You're going to, not quack.
Very Dennis Spencer. Chickens don't quack.
You're gonna fucking
Wait,
chuck.
chickens don't
Wait,
quack either.
what in the fuck did they do?
They
The,
buck.
oh, buck. You could have buck.
No, no,
buck.
not buck, not nuck. If you buck, no.
Oh, I thought.
We nucking and bucking and ready to fight.
Okay, the goal is to go over there and you're gonna cluck. Okay, you're gonna cluck about 3 times. There's gonna be an egg that's gonna drop. You're gonna get that egg. You're gonna take it through the gook, through the gok to get to the 12 dozen of eggs. Okay,
Not through the gloop, through the glock.
to the gook of the Glock, because I don't know what the hell to call it, because we still don't know what the hell it is. Okay, so or Jello, or it's not Jello, because if it was Jello you'd be able to get through it. But anyway, the mouse trap. Okay, so you're gonna get through the mouse trap as you're getting through here. The competition, of course, there's going to be, every time you cluck, there's going to be feathers. So you're turning into a chicken. That's the goal, okay, of this competition. Now, of course, the goal is, we want someone, Felicia, Miss Felicia, she wants someone to win the veto that's on her side, or, even if one of the boys wins, she's okay with it because her plan is for Heisem to go up. Now, as they're going through this competition, Miss fucking Felicia, she pulled a Kathy. She barely could get through it. She got one egg. Okay, bless her little soul. She was there for so many hours, but she got one. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, no, bless Miss Felicia's heart. I just wanted her to get one egg. That is all I wanted from her.
One egg, Hannah. She got
Yeah.
one egg.
Well, how many eggs do you think you would have gotten, and how many eggs do you think I would have gotten?
I feel like you're a strong girl, so I feel like you're not no nerd, I'll tell you that. But you definitely are a strong girl, so I definitely think that you could have got at least, I mean, like maybe 10, 8 or
Oh,
10. Yeah, I would put you up there. Yeah, for sure. Girl, they had a lot of time, okay?
that
Even though
is.
they fast forwarded the episode, they had a lot of time. I think I would have got a lot of eggs because that gook would have never helped me back. I'm so
Mm.
strong, I would have just
You
got
would.
right through it.
That song by Lotto and Cardi B, "Rip Me Up the Plastic, I've been acting run."
I would have been coming out the gook like,
Rip me
what's up? Duck. I mean, let me stop. I'm going to move on. Sorry, I don't talk about this anymore. Uh,
Okay, moving on,
J-
moving on.
Jeb wins this competition, but of course, this competition comes with a punishment because this is the theme of the season with all these different multiverses, like we're in the Marvel world. Jag wins the competition, and he ends up having to be dressed as a fucking chicken. a cock chicken, okay, and he has to cluck cluck, buck buck, all over the place, okay. Um, I'm okay with the punishment. I don't think it was anything annoying. I wish they made him do something annoying, like how DX had to unlock the bathroom every time we had to go, and Claire had to pick up the cards every time the sound went off. Like I wish that he had to like cluck cluck or something in random rooms at night, like loudly. That would have been interesting. Um, Miss Felicia, she follows through with her plans. What is your? I just want to know, Hannah, and let me just kind of go over it. Miss Felicia gives this chessboard speech. Why go after a knight when you can get the king and all this other stuff? What's your thoughts on that? Like, I just want to know your thoughts before I give my thoughts.
Well, I love a good chess metaphor. Big Brother certainly loves a good chess metaphor. In terms of Felicia backdooring Heisem, I don't think that was the best move for her game, but I can understand why she did it based on the information that she had at the time. Now, from her perspective, Heisem was running around the house demanding that nobody else in the professors could establish side alliances, and everyone had to be undyingly loyal to him. Yet, people were hearing from America and Corey that he was expressing how he wanted to work with people outside of the professors. So, if I were hearing that, that would instantly scream, okay, he's a hypocrite. And also in their meetings, he wasn't really letting anybody else talk. He would talk over them, whatever. He explained this in his exit interview with us. He's just a very definitive person. And for him, if something makes sense, then he's going to do it. There's no room for going back and forth or changing your mind. And that can be a great quality to have, but not in the game of Big Brother. You always want to make other people feel like their input is valuable and like they're a crucial and indispensable part of your alliance. Otherwise, you're not going to be a good ally. Then they're just going to feel bulldozed by you. They're going to feel undervalued by you. They're going to feel underestimated by you. And I think that's what was happening with Izzy, Cirie, and Felicia, and ultimately why they ended up getting rid of Heisem. Not to mention, he's a phenomenal competitor. Literally won 3 competitions in a row.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what? Another thing that I just sidebar, and I'm not going to get too in depth. I think people like the game of Big Brother. I will say this, and Hannah actually said this when she left her, that time when you had to leave fifth place, and I know it was a difficult time for you, a dark place for you.
I had
Um,
fun though.
but it's funny because you really have to look at yourself like Big Brother. You're gonna really have to play a side of you that you have never played before, or like things like you got like your bad side come out. Like you got to think about it. You're here to lie, connive, and get to the end. So I think the thing about it is that you have to lie to make people feel like you actually do give a fuck. And if you don't give a fuck, don't let it show that you don't give a fuck. Just act like you give a fuck. Like no matter if they tell you 1,000 times about their pet dog. Oh my God, let me hear it again. Oh my God, I love it. That's what you have to do. It's just lying. Okay, let me stop giving away my game. Anyway, yeah. So Heisem is hurt. I thought the speech was very. It was very. It was okay for me. I get it. It's Miss Felicia. It was iconic. Everybody's saying it's iconic. I think it was meh or whatever, because you know how I feel, because I love Heisem. But other than that, I just felt like it was okay. Heisem's hurt, okay? Felicia decides to bring him up. This is live eviction night. Felicia decides to bring him up in the HOH room. She's sitting there telling him why she's putting him up. He's kind of just like shocked still. He's confused. He don't know what's going on. It's just it's kind of weird, okay? The reason why Heisem decides to kind of go on a binge where he's going to sit there and go on an apology tour, he's kind of like, let me apologize to these people because I don't want these people to think outside the game. Number one, he's thinking about his reputation outside the game. He really does care for these people, but he's also thinking about himself in the game. He goes and tells, he goes and has meetings with everyone. Everyone's starting to tell him and the professors like where he messed up at. Izzy tells him that, supposedly he called them leftovers, okay? When he was having a conversation with America, on the hammock. He realized, oh my God, this is a mistake in my game. Like, that's not what I meant by that. He was very, very like, oh my God, I have to go on a redemption tour and try to make all this better. There's a flip happening. Kind of in this moment when he goes on this redemption tour, he tells Izzy, Izzy and Cirie, after talking to him, realize that we should probably keep Heisem. Now their brains are actually clicking, because I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, the light bulb's not going off in your head. You have someone who's willing to die on the sword for you guys and protect you guys and win these comps, who've been winning these comps for you guys, and also will be the person when their time goes, you know what? If I'm still on the block, put me next to Heisem. You're not thinking 10 steps. Everyone's thinking just about the next week. I don't think these people are thinking about
Well,
the future.
which is so interesting because Cerie's from Survivor. That's the type of game she's used to playing. It's a very fast-paced game where they have eliminations, or they go to tribal every day or every 3 days. And I think that is translating really well this season. Like, we don't see Cirie playing the long game, and Big Brother is the ultimate long game. Instead, we see her playing a game that's very like, okay, it's going to reset in another 3 days. So I think that is the ultimate translation of Survivor to Big Brother. And as somebody in that house, that would be my biggest nightmare. But as a viewer, it's the most fascinating thing.
It is the biggest nightmare. Could you imagine if
No,
we thought that way?
no, I can never. That would be like, I honestly feel like that would be the equivalent of Christian's HOH week slash like, or sorry, not Christian's HOH week, but Christian's eviction week and Jack's
Yes,
eviction week, just over and over and over. They're going to be burnt out. I don't know
correct.
how they're going to continue doing the flip-floppy thing, but
Yeah.
anyway, so Heisam, goes on his apology tour, and then
A lot of flip is happening. Cirie and Izzy are trying their best to, make this flip happen where Heisem can stay, because they're kind of feeling like they messed up. Also, the HOH, Miss Felicia, also realized that she kind of messed up and goes, no, we should keep Heisem. Now everyone's feeling a little bit like, oh my God, what am I doing? Now, everyone's on board with it. They're starting to get the numbers. Course, our knight in shining armor, Corey comes in, and Corey comes and stops the plan from happening. Corey doesn't really understand why this is happening. He's been telling everybody, this doesn't make sense to me. This doesn't make sense for my game. Why would we do this? Like, which is smart. If it doesn't make sense for his game, you're going to fight for somebody to go that doesn't make sense for your game. So yeah, him and Jared are kind of like, all right, oh, you know what? We're going to stop this, and
as they
it
should.
happens.
Well, because
Yes.
remember, Heisam from the jump has not been the biggest fan of Corey, so why would Corey want to vote to keep him in the house?
I don't know. Whatever. Corey's there. So Corey's there, and, him and Jared to stop the plan from happening. There is, Cameron is just chilling, staying low, as he should. When you are not the target, the goal is to stay low. But Heisem ends up going home to a unanimous vote. This is the third week in a row that we had,
Unanimous vote?
unanimous vote.
A unanimous e-vote?
Unanimous Evo. Okay, he goes home to unanimous Evo. So unfortunately, they all go home. I'm sorry, not they all go.
And the season's over. That was BB25, ladies and gentlemen. PT, what show are you watching?
At this point, they're wearing me out with this fucking show. I'm exhausted.
Same. And I feel like when you miss watching feet for just a day, I'll be like, Claire, okay, give me all the updates. Karen, okay, give me all the updates, because I need people to send me voice notes. That's how fluid this house is. It's
I'm
crazy.
exhausted. Like, they're wearing me. I can't keep up. Like, I don't know, because we played a very smooth game until we had to deal with the casino twist and stuff like that, of the secret HOA. Like, I feel like this is just, I'm exhausted. I couldn't live in this type of house. They switching it up too much for me. It's too much. And not saying I like a steamroll type of competition, like steamroll type of game. It's just very like up and down.
But I would
Okay.
much rather have this than a season like I don't know, season 16 where the bomb squad just dominates the
Okay.
entire time. It
Right.
is exhausting. It's giving me whiplash, but
Yes.
if this season continues in this way, I have a feeling that it's going to go down as one of the best modern seasons of Big Brother. Like it's that entertaining for me.
But here's the issue that they are hitting. Let me tell you something. They are hitting everything that I feel like they can be considered a best season. But this is where they're messing up at with the votes. The votes can't always keep being unanimous. Like it cannot.
On our season, the votes were unanimous quite a few times.
A few times, but that first time, me and Tiff threw out some votes in the beginning to kind of shake things up.
Yeah, but then we had
You
like
know.
Brent, we had Whitney. I think that's pretty common in the pre-jury phase of these modern seasons because people want to vote with the house. But I'm telling you, you wait
Okay.
for jury
Okay.
and for them to unleash a new twist, and I think the votes are gonna get good.
All right. I'm here for it.
Even with this week with Jag and Blue, we'll get to it in a second. I
Yeah, we're gonna get.
home.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. I just wanna, we're gonna get into Sunday's episode. I just kind of just feel like, Oh, also just to kind of go over Heiston's exit interview, loved it. He was eating the girls up with Heiston in his interview with Julie. I think people were kind of a little bit even more sad because I think the fans felt like they wanted Heiston to go after Riley, and then they started seeing Heiston of how he was when he wasn't, so overpowering with how he thinks. And I think people started realizing, oh my God, I don't want him to go. And then they start realizing, oh my God, the house is going to be so boring without him, And I think over the course of time, people realized that. And his exit interview, it was like really hard for me to see him go, and unfortunately, it is what it is. So, we're getting into Sunday's night's episode. We start out with knowing that it is the pressure cooker. Can you believe they brought the
The what?
the pressure cooker back? Could you believe they? Could you believe they brought the pressure cooker back, Anna? What's your thoughts? Like, wait, before we get into it, what do you think would have happened if we had the pressure cooker? Not to make it about us, because we know the podcast ain't about us. Actually, it is the fuck about us. It's our fucking show. What do you think the pressure cooker would have brought for us?
Claire and I were actually talking about it. So her and I think that these six people would have been bottom six. Myself.
Really?
Christian. Yeah, because hunger.
Oh, yeah, Christian can't stay still.
The hunger would have gotten me. Because you know how I am with food. Like, if I'm hungry, I need to eat. So I think the hunger would have gotten me. Plus the being cold, because I do not do well in the cold.
I love the cold.
Me, Christian, we said you, we said
Why would y'all think me? It's
because
everything.
you fall asleep and you would take your hand off the button.
No, I wouldn't.
Listen, Big D. Your comic was literally called Big Z because you're able to sleep and
I would have slept standing up on the button just like this, and I love the cold. I would have been out there just like this in the tank top, like Cameron was, and chilled, and sung, and talked the whole damn time, and fell asleep.
Big Z. I don't think pressure cooker would have been your competition. Sorry.
You guys have no.
Me, you, Christian, Whitney, Kyland, and who else was on our season?
So hold up, let's stop real quick. You think I'm really confused? You think I love our dear sister, but Ozza hates the cold, and you think Ozza would have stunned there longer than me in the cold?
Yeah, I do. Because
Okay.
I think she would have dissociated and then it would have been 13 hours later and she would have been like, wait, what just happened? You know how I was really good at doing that.
Okay, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. You guys live with me. You guys know what y'all think I could do. I'm gonna disagree.
Big D, I do not think that pressure cooker would have been your comp. I think you would have fallen off the button after falling asleep. I really do.
Okay, all right. So we get to the pressure cooker. Okay, this pressure cooker is very interesting. They have to stand there and hold a button. The goal is they cannot sit and hold the button. And I think what was the other rule? Because I feel like they broke the other rule, whatever it was.
they couldn't sit and they couldn't kneel, but you can squat. So you can't put your knees on the ground, you can't put your butt on the ground, but you can still squat.
So I guess yes. So I guess they can also lean, so they can lean against the post and stuff like that. Just to kind of go over this, they end up doing, spoiler alert, they end up doing 13 hours or something like that. 13 and some
13
change.
hours 49 minutes. And the original pressure cooker, 13 hours 53 minutes. It
Wow.
was a 4 minute difference.
Wow. That would have been great to beat. That would have been great to beat for them.
Brutal.
So yeah, they end up doing that long time. So just to kind of go over, I'm just gonna go in order to who got eliminated. If I remember their prizes, I remember their prizes. I will say this: this is one of those comps that I feel like you can't really show well on a TV show. Like you have to really just watch it throughout the day and give your forte, because the edits definitely didn't match up with what we saw on the live feeds. But Jared and Cirie, the first two out. Jared is the first one out. He moved his hand or did some crazy shit. I don't know what the hell he was doing. There ended up being a snake pit. Okay, the snake pit was pointless. I think. I feel like it was just there. Like the snakes couldn't crawl out of it. They were just there. Like I feel like this. I feel bad for the snakes. Like I feel like the snakes were going through fucking hell, just sitting there, just hissing. They're not even feeding the mouse and shit. Like they should have fed the snakes while they were there. That would have been a little bit more scary, right? Like they're just like, like what the fuck? That's not fucking scary. Like what are y'all doing? So they're just slithering snakes in the pits. Jared's the first one out. So Ree follows her son, because that's her son. So she follows her son. She's out, confused. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't think it was a part of a plan. It just looked like they were just not really focused like how they should. Izzy goes out next. Now, Izzy goes out. Izzy was doing a dance. Izzy was messing with them sometime. I will say Cerie's first present, I think, was like a 6-pack of beer. She don't care for beer. I get it. I didn't either in the Big Brother house, so it was whatever. Izzy goes out, so they're the first three to go back in. They go talk to Miss Felicia, who's on the couch. Now, Miss Felicia's having snacks. She's thinking this is All My Children. This is a soap opera. She thinks she at home watching the fucking show like we watching the fucking show, okay? So she got her peanut chews and her snacks and everything she needs. Izzy comes in after being eliminated. Izzy sits on Cerie's lap and starts crying. Izzy has a whole moment. Cool. JoJo Siwalk is next. She's the next one out. After JoJo
Wait,
Siwalk,
I'm sorry. We do remember when the flies came out or when Jared thought he heard something. And Bowie was like, "What is that?" And then Jared was like, "Hold up. Am I supposed to know?"
yo,
You're so mean to her.
there's so. Listen, I don't know what it is, but I talked to my friends about this the other day. I don't trust nice people. You can't be that happy all the time. You just
Brittany, Joseph. There are
yeah.
people who can be that happy all the time. But like with Bowie
Are
J.
they? Because I've seen them now. I've seen Brittany now, just
Oh
like
yeah.
Sarah Beth,
Okay,
just like Sarah Beth. Like
oh,
I've said the same thing about Sarah Beth. I was like, she can't be all this hi. Like no. And look what happened. We were all like that fucking Sarah Beth. Like seriously. So
okay,
JoJo
that's probably
Siwalk is our Sarah Beth of the season. She
yeah,
really is.
that
So
could be
JoJo.
it.
Yeah, so JoJo Siwa goes out. The goal is that nobody wants Cameron or Red to win. The professors don't want anyone to win. Of course, Heisem just went home. So then we have Matt. Matt is next. Matt, just so you guys didn't know, Matt did pee on himself. I thought that was pretty cool, iconic. I would have peed on myself. I would have did it just to do it, just to say I did it.
Ew.
I would have just whipped it out.
This is supposed to be a family-friendly
I
show.
would have peed right on those snakes.
We you could have peed on the people next to you.
Yeah, it made them move. See? I would have did so many things you don't even know about, okay?
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
would have had you right next to me so we can make
uh-uh.
songs. Well, I wouldn't pee
No.
on you, Hannah, but I would have put like this how it would have been. I would have made sure the cookout was not next to. Actually, you're right. We couldn't be next to each other. So actually, I would have made sure we were across from each other. I would have made sure Tiff's ass was at least one person down for me. Okay. I would have made sure Ozza was no, because if Ozzy started looking at me, I know how she get. So Ozzy would have had to been like one person down from me also. I made sure you were across from me, X was somewhere across from me, and Kylan was somewhere across from me. So I could fuck with them. Okay?
Well, me, all I know is me, Claire, and Derek would have definitely needed front row seats to the Derek Frazier show. 'Cause-
I just feel like we would have made a whole album. It would have been
Yeah,
great. We could have made a whole album that everybody always wanted from us. They
yeah.
could have got the whole we should have said track one. What's track one? Welcome to the big
Welcome
welcome
to
to
Big
Big
Brother.
Brother. When everybody hides in their rooms because they're conspiring against the rest of the house. Okay, so next in line, Red goes out. Then it's Corey. Corey was kind of like, I don't really need to win this because Corey's, he's already thinking 10 steps ahead of everybody, which is great. Blue is trying her best. Blue ends up going out. Blue was like dancing and like, I don't know if she had to pee, but she was really working it out. Jed, who wants to win it in his chicken suit, does not win. Then we come down to our final three. We have Mimi, we have America, Cameron. Okay, those are our final three. I do want to name out some of the prizes. I think Red got a prize where I guess he gets Paramount Plus free for I guess a year. He comes with a TV. What else was a cool prize? Blue got $1,000, so I definitely would have loved that. Yeah,
The prizes were lame. Okay,
yeah.
so we're at final three.
Final three. Mimi. I think Mimi's gonna win. Mimi's kind of like, I really don't need to win this, which I'm surprised after standing there that so long. I really don't understand these diary rooms.
Mimi was like, "No, I want to win this. I didn't come
But
here."
in her DR, she was like, kind of like, I don't really like. I don't need to, so it's fine. I'm just gonna fall off. That's what I'm saying. Like the way here's the thing: the way they played it on the show wasn't matching the energy as we saw on the live feeds.
But I just watched the episode right before I hopped on, and she was like, "Oh
You
my
sure?
God, I did." Yeah, positive. Like I just watched it. I think she, I don't think she was like, "I need to win this," but she definitely didn't want to lose it after standing there for 14 hours. I think by that point, everyone who was still standing had the motivation to win.
Okay, all right. Oh, America comes out. America and Cameron. I think America. She was like, my fingers turning purple. She can't handle it. So she just let go. Cameron did make her a promise. I wouldn't put you up. And Cameron ends up winning.
Well, might I add just two things if that's okay with you, Derek?
Yes, please.
The first thing is it was so cool to see Kaser back on my TV screen. I love Kaser. Kaser will be joining us in a future episode of The Royalty coming soon. But just 18 years later, he hasn't really aged a day. It was so cool as a super fan to see him back on the show. But in terms of America taking that deal, America has great reads on the house, and so does Corey. However, I think America is under the impression that she's in a much better position than she actually is. In her mind, she knows she's not a part of anything definitively, but she's just playing the middle. She's a floater playing the middle. People are overlooking her, but when in reality, people do not trust her, and that's the only reason why she's not being integrated into these alliances. So I think she could have really used the week 4 HOH to force people to have game related conversations with her and to like pull herself in to some of these power structures. But instead, she wants to keep playing the middle, although you're in danger, honey. So good on her for at least making a deal to keep her and to keep herself and Corey safe. But I just think that she could have benefited from that HOH. Now, granted, had Cameron not won HOH, him and Red would have been put on the block by almost anybody in that house. So Cameron needed the HOH. However, America could have strongly benefited from it.
I agree exactly what you're saying. I just want to take a moment that Heisem is getting his karma, and I'm so here for it because now everyone's freaking scrambling.
So Cameron wins the HOH. He comes in, and instantly, him and Red can sense that something's off about Izzy. It does not seem like Izzy is particularly excited that Cameron has won, even though they're part of this fake alliance called Legend 25. It's an 8-person alliance, I want to say, consisting of, or maybe it's a 7-person alliance, but it has Cirie, Izzy, Felicia, of course, the power trio of the house, Red, Cameron, Matt, me, Cole, and I can't remember if Jared's a part of it. Jared might be like the honorary 8th member, but anyway, 8 people. And to Red and Cameron, this is their alliance. These are their people, even though last week they chose to not tell you guys about the Heisen backdoor plan.
And they also were in the Professor Alliance, like, that he got added to. Like, Cirie said it. They're like, baby, we do need. This is hard. This is how I know we're exhausting, Hannah. There's so many alliances. We're still making so many alliances, and we're in like week 3. Like, this is insane to me. We're still making alliances throughout this game. Continue. I'm sorry.
It's bonkers. I mean, yeah, no, definitely make alliances with people as you get to know them better, but it seems like there are 3 alliances created every single week. But I also love it as a viewer because it's so different from a BB16. It's so different from a BB23. Like, this is just something totally new in the territory of modern BB. But that's neither here nor there. So anyway, Cameron and Red, they are faithful to this alliance. And Cirie's like, well, I guess I got to stick with Legend 25, even though this is the fakest alliance I've ever been a part of in my whole entire life of my 26-year career on TV. So anyway, Cameron and Red are like, the best move for, Legend 25 is to get rid of Jared and Blue. Because there are only 3 people in the house who are not safe, who aren't in Legend 25, and who aren't America and Corey, because Cameron just made this deal. He literally only has 3 people to choose from, and that's Jared, Jag, Blue. So he decides, I want to target Jag. Jag has been coming after me. I've been going after him, and I'm going to put him up next to his number 1 ally, Blue. And if one of them comes down, then we'll figure out whether I want to backdoor Jared. Maybe I want to backdoor Izzy because I think she's coming for me. And the episode ends with him putting Jag and Blue on the block. Jag and Blue don't even fight. When Cameron tells them that they're going on the block, they're kind of just like, tee-hee-hee, okay. So I had higher hopes for Jag. As you know, Jag was my winner pick. I do think that when all is said and done, he's probably going to be going home on Thursday. But yeah, I'm gonna need you to step it up. Like, they have all the pieces of the puzzle. First of all, can we talk about the fact that Jared let the cat out of the bag about him being related to Cirie, and Blue still hasn't connected the dots? He literally told Blue, my mom's in this game. And Blue was like, how does that change anything for me? What? You bring that to Cameron as leverage. Like, this happened before the veto meeting. So these people are just not thinking, they're not using the information that they have, and that to me is frustrating. Like, when you have a dumb
Hannah Chada, I agree. I never see anything. That's why I'm saying this is the most interesting thing. I don't know. Maybe they upgraded their pay rate because the way they be acting on this block, they're like, all right, I'm really going home. Like, none of these people are fighting, right? None of them are really fighting the way the hell that we would be fighting if we were on the block. Like, I mean,
we were hardly fighting when we were on the block. We knew we were good, but
you had to fight. You had to fight one time.
yeah, okay. Well, you had to fight for those votes. Where did that get you?
Don't- Well, you wrote that tweet for Zach, huh?
Yeah, I copied and pasted.
You copied and pasted Zach and Corey? Yeah, you
well,
guys,
the iron's still hot.
all you fucking nerds, like, all together makes sense.
It's
Anyway,
fun.
so we get into, we'll just have to wait to see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow is the veto competition. Make sure you guys tune in Wednesday night for the veto competition. We'll just have to wait and see. I think there's a lot that's happening. I feel like we kind of now put together, I think in the episode, I feel like Blue and Jared are a showman. So I guess that's a thing. Or whatever. We'll have to get into that a little bit later. We'll see what happens.
Well,
But what's your final thoughts on where we're at with Cameron being HOH? You, Judd, and Blue are on the block. We just had to Jag.
okay.
Jag.
Okay, so
JoJo Seawalk, or JoJo Seawalk is still in the game. She's somewhere around the
no,
house. I don't know where she's at. JoJo Seawalk does get brought up in the challenge, so we'll get into that next. But
so
you know,
really quickly, what are your thoughts on AmeriCorey? Like the budding showmans between America and Corey.
you know, just so happy for just happy for them. That's all. I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say. I feel like I'm glad to know America. I feel like maybe she has a type. Maybe she has a type. I thought she had a different type, but maybe she has a type.
Hmm.
So, and that's a hot take.
But
But I think it's cute. I think it's cute. They're looking out for each other,
yeah,
and they're talking to each other, and this is good. Let's see what happens. I this feels like this is gonna be like the Jared and Blue, and then Corey and America showman's type of season. Let's see how far they make it all together in the game.
I
What's your thoughts?
I don't like Jared and Blue as a showmans because they're just dumb gamers. Like Jared risking his entire game, risking his mom's entire game for someone he just met 3 weeks ago. Dumb, 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 dumb. And then also like
Now he did
Blue,
say he did. I will say this: he didn't say it was Cerrito. So
but he
Blue
said
thinks,
his
but
mom. Who's his mom gonna be? Bowie
no,
Jane?
she, no, JoJo Seawalker, no. She thinks that, I think Blue thinks it's Miss Felicia, and she said that.
But eventually she is going to figure out that it is not in fact Miss
Is
Felicia.
she?
I
Is
think
she?
so because I think eventually she will
Mm.
tell somebody, and then that somebody else will start connecting the dots for her.
I don't listen. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you this, and this is between me and you. I gave Jared advice. Okay,
Mm.
I gave him four advices before he went into the game. When I saw him over the last year or so, okay, I told him always go for the HOHs, don't throw them. I said remember to always respect the black women, no matter if you don't see eye to eye with them. No matter what you do, you always respect the black women. Okay. I also said to align yourself with people that you feel like have the same mind frame as you, but also protect the black women at all costs. That's what I told him. You don't have to work with everyone, but that is what also I told him. What else did I tell him? I feel like there's one more thing I'm missing.
You told him to break up with his girlfriend.
And we're going to move on to the next segment.
Real quick though about um
This is a hot take.
real quick
This is too hot for me to
real quick
handle.
about Jared and Blue.
Woo! What's on the next conversation? But
But
those are the four things I did tell him as a friend. I still have respect for him, his mom. They're still my friends. I'm not gonna trash them. I'm not gonna dog them. If he's making stupid moves in the game,
yeah.
absolutely he's making stupid moves in the game. But as a person, you're not gonna hear me
Well,
talk
no,
about
we're just here to talk about people's game and
hmm
his we're only here to analyze people's games, and his game is just like sinking because even let's just say Blue starts talking and goes, well, Jared and Felicia are actually related. That's still going to hurt Jared's positioning in the house. And then the fact that like Blue does not even care. That's a huge advantage for somebody to have regardless of whether your mom's Miss Felicia, Cirie, or Bowie Jane. So the fact that she's just sitting on this information, sitting on the couch, doing other things on the couch with Jared, I'm like, what? Why
Okay.
are you guys here? Why are you here?
Okay.
Why are you
Let me
here?
just
So
let me just wipe this up. Let's wipe this
mm,
conversation up.
with
Let's
with
wipe
the,
it up.
with the softener sheets,
What the
what are those gonna do? Dumb, 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 as James Kennedy from Vanderpump Rules would say. Dumb, stupid. Okay, so AmeriCorey, love them. I don't want them to become an actual showmance because I hate showmances, but I love how they're cute and they're young and they're flirty. And also, it's so important to have somebody in that house who you trust, not unconditionally, but like close to being unconditionally. You had Ozza, who you would share a lot with. You had Xavier, who you were really close to. I had Tiff, Tiff had me. So it's like just for your sanity, you need that. And
No
it's
one had Kylan?
no one had Kyland. Kyland was sketchy. The last thing I want to say about Big Brother, though, is they introduced this new twist where America is going to get to vote for four people to get this invincibility power. And the top four vote getters are going to end up competing in a competition, and whoever wins that competition has to save somebody in either this week's eviction or next week's eviction, which means that jury's not going to start for another 3 weeks because somebody will be saved during this pre-jury phase. So I so wonder who the top four vote getters are going to be. I think it's going to be Felicia, Cirie, Matt, and Jag, or it's going to be Felicia, Cirie, Corey, and Matt.
I have to disagree with you.
Who do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be Corey, Amanda. I'm sorry.
Amanda. America? Well, America hasn't been on the episodes. Really, until
But
like
she came in second place, so depending on,
but
people might,
voting
but
voting
people
ended
might.
over voting ended over the weekend.
Oh, all right. So then I guess I'm gonna say Corey. I guess I would say Jack because they would probably want to shake it up.
Hmm.
I guess I would say Cirie and Miss Felicia. Yeah, I guess
So I
you're
wonder
right.
I wonder who's gonna win. I think I could see Jag winning the comp or even
No.
Corey winning the comp. And I hope Jag wins so he can save himself because I need my winner pick to still be in the game.
Yeah, my winner pick is I forgot. Did I say it was blue?
You did say it was blue, yeah. She's not winning. Unless she like does a 180. Because where are the reads? Where is
She
the
listen. She's winning. She's having fun. That's all I can say. So that's all. But any other thoughts, Hannah, before we close out on Big Brother?
No, I'm just really excited to see how this power shakes things up.
Oh, let's really get into some good power. Okay, Hannah, your favorite show, our iconic show,
Vanderpump
our.
Rules.
I'm sorry, what?
You said my favorite show, so I said Vanderpump Rules.
No, girl, the challenge, okay? Let's get into the challenge. Now, we left off with Chris going into elimination, winning his elimination, and he ends up sending Luis home. Is that his name? Luis? He ends up sending Luis home. Chris comes into this episode coming. I mean, girl, coming at Monty and Tyler. Like he was pissed at them, basically all up in their face. And I was pretty surprised. This season, a lot of people are keeping like their themselves together. Like I'm pretty shocked, okay? Wes is upset that his team lied to him. The reason why he's upset is because Wes went with what Desi said she wanted to go against. I mean, go against in the elimination. And she said, I want Cassidy. And Wes picked Cassidy, and everybody else picked Amanda to go in. So Wes is pissed that, they lied to him in this elimination. Okay. I just want to point out my favorite moment of the episode was Wes was in the pool naked, also shirtless, also giving me so much daddyisms.
The man is married and has a newborn child. Leave him alone.
I don't give a fuck. I'll still be there with open arms and open legs and open mouth whenever he needs.
Oh, wait, where is that from? Is that from I Love New York?
Yeah, it's actually from Tiffany Paulin when she's in the Big
Yeah.
Brother house in UK.
Are we sure? No, it's
Yes.
some flavor of love with open arms and open legs and an open. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
she was talking about someone in the Big Brother house. Like she went to, I, not you look, not it's taking a minute for you to type it up and look it up. Go ahead. I think she said it when she was.
Oh, you're so right. You're so
Yes,
right.
I know my Tiffany Paulin icon lines because I'm always ready for my next show when I have my green screen moments. So yes, but Wes is, over that. We went over that, okay? The challenge you're going into is called Unbox Power Through. All the boxes have half of the body weights of the challengers, okay? They all have to carry these boxes together as a team. They have to run together with the boxes. There's puzzles in these boxes or any type of trick questions. It could be a octagon, it could be a Sudoku puzzle, whatever they decide, okay?
A what?
But a Sudoku.
Sudoku?
Oh, Sudoku.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Royalty Podcast. Thank you. So, they'll have all these different puzzles they're going to go through. Wes thinks of this great idea, which is Wes is good at. He's like, let's not drop off our boxes. It's only five of us. Let's run all the way to the end, make it to the end with the boxes. If you want to drop weight, you have to do puzzles on the checkpoints, but you don't have to, okay? Green team was smart. They pushed all the way through. Now, of course, unfortunately, everyone else loses. Green team wins. Green team decides to put up Cassidy and Chris. It's giving off this kind of Big Brother versus Survivor, which is very crazy to me. Dusty,
Wait, when did that happen? Because I thought up until now it's been like CBS versus MTV.
this happened this episode. This episode it happened. It was like they kind of like the vets are kind of getting in their heads and starting to throw votes on all these other things that would kind of mess them up. This is the episode they started doing that. Dusty, Musty, Tusty once again is kissing up to the vets. Once again, Cassidy gets a little bit tipsy in this episode. They go out partying a little bit. She gets upset at Wes because she's mad that Wes came for her. Wes is pissed because he didn't have nobody targeting him, and now he has Cassidy targeting him. We get into this moment where Josh and Cassidy have this little moment in the hot tub. It kind of confused me a little bit. I didn't know they were gonna, be into each other. Tyler and Alyssa S also start building something. I found that very interesting too.
I hate romances.
Yes, they're just all building right now. That alcohol is really kicking in this night. Okay?
Yeah.
So, once again, in this episode, I was telling you, Johnny, Fessy, Tori, Wes, and Banana come up with a plan to throw random votes. Now, and also Josh. Once again, I hate that Josh and Fessy are going along with these vets. Like, once again, I don't really understand it. It's ridiculous, okay? So, all these votes start going all over the place. Cassidy ends up going in. Alyssa had one ball vote. Alyssa L had one ball vote. TJ picks the ball. It ends up being Alyssa L.
Wait, who ended up voting for Alyssa L? Was it Tori? Who just threw like a random vote on Alyssa?
I think it could have been Tori. We don't know. They never uncovered it, so it could have been Tori. I don't know why, but Alyssa ends up going in. This elimination was so on edge, so like, oh my god, they had to hit the box. They're in boxes. They have 4 different holes on the sides, like a rectangle or octagon. They're fucking hitting this box to get to different flag stations, but you got to get to each flag station has a number. So you either have to get the flag number 1, flag number 2, flag number 3, flag number 4, all in order. Cassie starts winning. And Alyssa catches up at the very end. And it comes down to just them trying to reach this platform to show the number that was kind of like highlighted, but you had to put it on the platform to read the number. And Cassidy literally wins by like the skin of her teeth. Like Alyssa L was right there. I was happy to see how hard Alyssa fought. And I definitely excited to see her in the future. And I love that she was just kind of like, Alyssa gets nervous. She gets a little bit of anxiety, and she went in there and she just kicked ass. Like, that's when you put Alyssa underneath pressure. That's when she does the best, and she was almost there. She almost sent Cassidy's ass packing. Okay.
Alyssa L, if you're watching this, we love you. Even if you aren't watching this, we love you. We're so proud of you, and she really did kill it this season. Like
she did.
she did
She
her
did.
thing. So
She
yeah.
did. So, going into tonight's episode, Dusty, Musty, Tusty, Flusty, um, Krusty,
No,
he starts his attitude by throwing a little tantrum tonight. Very tantrum. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, I know that Tiffany voted for me." He starts flipping out because he thinks that Tiffany voted for him. Okay, which they uncover the votes, which we haven't done all season, and Tiffany didn't vote for him. Okay, he's upset. He's yelling at Tiffany. I just want to make this clear: if any man ever yells at Tiffany or Hannah or
except you.
Azza, except me, I will fuck you up, and that is a threat.
Oh,
Okay. Now,
let me wait. Watch me tell on Kylan just so you can yell at him. Derek, Kylan just yelled at me. Kylan's
I
like,
just
Wait. I haven't eaten you since your white coat ceremony.
you're fucking dead. This is where you start getting delusional because it's way past your bedtime. So,
right.
we get we get into it. Tiffany comes and she tells him, "I didn't put it on you." And Tiffany was very calm. I don't know who this Tiffany is right now. Maybe it's she's playing the game, so I guess she's being calm right
Always.
now.
Yeah, in the game, she's always calm. She only had a moment that 1 week. And that's understandable because we were in that house for 70 something days.
So yeah, we don't, with her being there so long, we don't know. I mean, she could have been there. We don't know how long they filmed this shit. So, like I said, but I just know that's not Tiffany I know from the storage room, and I was expecting a little bit more. But she was playing the game. I understand. Maybe she was a little bit more chilled out. Whatever. West in this episode is talking about how he's going to be a dad. I think with him being a dad, and I think with him, I saw a side of West I haven't seen, but I felt the pain and I know what he was feeling, and I got to text him later.
You don't even have any hair to tuck behind your ear.
I do. Don't make listen. Every gay dude has hair. You just don't know it. It's very
Wait.
it's very imaginative. See, you see that? Look at that. Mine is a split down the middle. It's apart. It's very. See,
Wait, so you really are delusional.
fuck you. Okay. So we get into. You're not gonna come over here and mess with me, okay? Wes is very emotional this episode. I think because I feel like he probably feels a little bit of guilt, and he kind of mentioned it. He left his pregnant wife at home. I can't imagine, stop laughing. What's so funny? Stop it. He said it. Stop it.
You said so matter of fact. You were like, yeah, because he left his pregnant wife at home. Anyway.
So he leaves his pregnant wife at home, and I think that kind of makes him feel a little bit emotional because he's kind of like, this might be like he thinks this is his last challenge because it sounds like he's really ready to kind of grow away from the challenge and be a father and run his business and entrepreneurship, which shout out to all his endeavors that he's doing. But he's making it clear. Now, I also think Wes is kind of playing it up this episode, not saying he's like not emotional. I just never seen him that emotional, but I think this kind of adds to later in the episode when I get to it. Alyssa S and Tyler are getting together, which I found very interesting still because I always think about Angela. So I don't know. I'm very confused by all this. This is really hot take, this little triangle circle. I don't really know all the tea, but whatever. I guess everybody else know the tea about that.
No,
Okay.
that's cool.
Right. Now, the vets are working together once again. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to throw a different rate. This episode is trivia, which would be my favorite episode because I would win. Okay. So,
What?
go ahead, give me some questions. Watch me win. Go ahead, give me a question.
Okay, which country borders Albania to the north? Or, sorry, which country borders Macedonia to the north?
Canada.
Croatia, aka Croatia. You couldn't even say
Liberia. Liberia.
No, Liberia's no in Africa. Wrong continent. Yeah, no.
Oh, I got a question for you.
You'd be first boot. Uh-huh.
Oh, I have a question for you.
What?
What artist sings the song Yellow Scientist?
Yellow scientist. Hmm. I wasn't born in the 70s. I don't know.
Of course, you and Tiffany are both dumb as fuck. Coldplay. That is the question
No,
that Tiffany got wrong tonight on
no.
tonight's episode.
Yeah,
Back to
no.
trivia.
The song is called Yellow. It's not called Yellow.
No, it's called Yellow Scientist. Let me type like you did.
Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you. No, it's called The Scientist, and then they have a song called Yellow. Big Z, you couldn't even be a trivia host.
Anyway, I'll be a great trivia host. I would give the right answer because they will always be correct. We should go back to trivia. But sidebar, this is a trivia competition. They have to lay on this fiberglass, like this glass where they're sticking and, they're using their body to like be pressed against the glass, just like a fly or whatever. The red team starts out a little bit strong. Tiffany answers the first question. Good for her. She did great. They asked, I forgot. I think it was something with Saw or Jaws or whatever, and the answer was Steven Spielberg, which I think was great. Glad Tiffany's been watching her movies. They start dwindling, okay? Green team starts falling one by one. Shout out to Alyssa S. She actually stood up there while the glass was like, kind of, because the glass started out flat, and then the glass will keep going every time you get a question wrong. And you're just literally like this on the glass, like hoping your like body sweat don't cause you to move. Like you're trying to stick to this hot ass glass.
Shout
Alyssa,
out to us.
yeah, shout out to Alyssa. She does great. Unfortunately, she drops. So then it comes down to, the red team and the blue team. The ladies on the red team were kicking ass. Dusty was the first to drop on the red team, by the way.
A moment of silence for Dusty.
Yeah. Dusty was the first to drop in the whole time competition, period. Monty goes next. Monty is a big dude. I get it. He explained it. I understand that. I can imagine. But lo and behold, the blue team wins again. The blue team wins. They decide, Cassidy kind of has her target. Also, shout out to Tiff. Tiff actually stood on the glass when it was also tilted up. So both Alyssa S and Tiff, the big brother girls, did really good on this challenge. Cassidy already made it clear she wants Wes. There's nothing Tori and Bananas can do at this point. They're outnumbered in this meeting. Wes is going in, but they also decided to vote in fucking Tiffany. Okay? I don't know why, but they decided to vote into both masterminds, of the game. So Tiffany and Wes, what an honor. Tiffany took it with a hit on her chin. She was like, whatever, I understand. You guys want to come for me.
Figure if we're putting up one mastermind, if we're putting up one strategist, we can just throw up another one,
That is true. Why not? Wes goes on the campaign. He starts telling everyone about, how this, him being a father, who he's fighting for. He's telling everybody to vote for a woman. Everyone's telling Wes he's going to fight for a woman. Everyone's going to vote for a woman. Of course, Dusty, once again, is somewhere up. Not Johnny's ass. Now he's up, Wes's ass at this point. And he is just so like, I understand. And I'm voting for you. I'm sticking by you guys. Which his dumb ass that ends up biting him in the bullet because everyone goes in and they all vote for Dusty, and Dusty ends up having like 8 balls on him. Okay, Dusty's pissed, so he has to go in. He's doing this whole like, yeah, I'm ready because I am the best, and this is the best thing ever. No one has nothing on me because I am the challenge, and I've been watching it forever.
Ew, I never want to hear that voice again.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So Dusty has to go in. This challenge is called Crank Staffed. The goal is to basically get these. There's 3 different rings, but you have to get the rings in order. If you think you could turn the ring while your opponent's on like this little like I guess platform, the goal is to get your opponent to fall off. You're going to turn the ring while they're on top trying to balance. Basically, let's say on a log. If that makes sense, okay? Dusty's on top first. His opponent obviously is Wes because Wes is going in because Dusty had the most balls. Not like that because Dusty ain't got no fucking balls. Okay, he got voted the balls to go in. Okay, they voted. They had the balls for Dusty to go in. Okay, Dusty's on top. Wes tries the first ring. He tries to turn it a couple times. Didn't work, so he went for the next one. But you had to untie these knots, these hard ass knots. He tries to untie these knots, taking him forever. He ends up getting the second one. Then Dusty falls. Then Dusty goes. Dusty's, yeah. He's making all this noise. It's fucking weird. Whatever. He ends up going. He decides to not wait. He gets the first one, puts it on, goes for the second one, because after watching Wes, he realized Wes needed 2 rings in order to go. Okay. He ends up dropping Wes, and then it comes down to time. And guess who wins?
Dusty.
No, Dusty would never win.
No, but isn't that what people think? I heard that there was some like chit chatter on Twitter.
Yeah, Wes wins, but everyone kind of thinks that with the time and how the show was shown, it looks like Wes took a longer time than Dusty. I don't know. You guys tell us in the chat what you think after watching. Please comment below and let us know what your thoughts are. It was hard because I will say this. I thought
Dusty won.
I thought Musty did win too.
I wouldn't be surprised if they rigged it for Wes. I mean, that's the purpose of these timed things, because if you don't show anybody what the individual times are, you can really say whatever you want to them.
Yeah. I'm not gonna question. I always hope all these games are fair, of course, except for the part that someone did push Helen. We'll never forget that someone did push Helen, okay? But other than that, we'll have to wait and see. Our queen lives another week. Can't wait to see what happens next week. And hopefully, she goes far and makes it to the end. We did lose one of our BB. I'm always rooting for anyone in BB23. So, we lost Alyssa L. But other than that, that is the challenge recap, everybody. Hannah, do you have any thoughts about the challenge? What's going on this season?
No, from what I have seen, I've really been enjoying watching it. I do have to get caught up, so thank you for catching me up, and now hopefully I can just jump right back in. I'm obviously rooting for Tiffany or anybody else from Big Brother. I'm sad that we've lost Alyssa S, but like we said, she really
Alyssa
did
L.
sorry, Alyssa L, Alyssa Lopez, duh. But she made her mark on this season, so I'm just
Yeah.
so proud of her.
Yes. Well, guys, remember to like and subscribe and comment. And we will continue dropping these videos for you guys. And we have some special guests coming up in the future. Okay, guys?
A special caser. Yeah.
Ooh.
Also,
Or,
comment below any guests you would like to see us have on the royalty in the future.
yeah.
We'll try our best to make that happen for you guys. If you want to see
Yeah.
people from BB23, BB24, BB25, if we're able to get some of the pre-jury members on, or
Yeah.
somebody from another reality show, if anyone can make that happen, it's us. So
It's us, for sure. So, guys, thank you so much. We love you guys. And
yeah.
we'll see you guys
Next
next
week.
week.
Bye, guys.